Committee of the 4th Eurasian Women's Forum, Valentina Matvienko. Chair of the Council of the Eurasian Women's Forum, Galina Karelova. Deputy Speaker of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, Konstantin Kosachev.
Of the Russian Federation, Chairwoman of the Council of the Interparliamentary Assembly of Member Nations of the Commonwealth of Independent States, and Chairwoman of the Organizing Committee of the 4th Eurasian Women's Forum, Valentina Matvienko. Chairwoman of the Council of the Eurasian Women's Forum, Galina Karelova. Deputy Speaker of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, Konstantin Kosachev.
Good afternoon, esteemed delegates and participants of the final plenary session. Once again, I'm happy to welcome you. Despite these 3 very full days of our work, there's still very many people who would like to speak, and they will have an opportunity to do so during this session. I announce the plenary session open. There's many speakers today, and I suggest that we use the same time frame, up to 4 minutes per speaker. Thank you. I hope you don't mind. I'm happy to invite Vice President and the first member of the Secretariat of the All-Chinese Federation of Women from China, Huan Xiaowei. The floor is yours. Esteemed Xiaowei Huan. Esteemed Valentina Matvienko, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. I would like to thank the Federation Council and the Interparliamentary Assembly of the CIS countries to take part in the closing session of the 4th Eurasian Women's Forum. And on behalf of the All-Chinese Federation of Women, I would like to congratulate you on the successful holding of this forum. I would like to thank those who promote development of women's entrepreneurial activities in their countries. Women are a very important power of development of the Eurasian region. Last week, Chairman of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, personally directed the congratulation letter to the Women's Forum of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in Qingdao, and he stressed that women are very important in the development of human civilization and social progress. They are demonstrating outstanding achievements in all spheres of our life. It was on the 28th of September, and the opening ceremony and the speech of Vladimir Putin at the opening ceremony of this forum fully demonstrated the significant role that President Putin and Russian government give to women and their development. This exchange of opinions and the whole forum devoted to women for strengthening trust and global cooperation has been so important. It is a platform for promoting development of women, women empowerment all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates, China has been always quite an active supporter of ensuring gender equality. This forum has demonstrated amazing results in this sphere, and this is true about all spheres of our life. Dear delegates and friends, China is known as an active supporter of gender equality, development, and women empowerment. And there's a whole system of supporting the rights of women in China. There's over 100 laws and normative acts adopted in the country. Also, there's 4 cycles of the program supporting growth and development of women, and there are mechanisms of evaluating gender equality at the national level and in 31 provinces. And the average life expectancy of women is over 80 years. The share of women who receive higher education is more than men, and the share of women in the IT sphere is over 55%. And the share of women in science and technology is 45.8%. And the number of certified accountants is over 40%. We see that the level of satisfaction of women has been growing, and it is an important impetus to a development of the nation and rejuvenation of the nation. These numbers speak for themselves. They are an evidence of significant results in this sphere. At the recently held 3rd plenum of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, a huge plan of further deepening of reforms and promotion of modernization of China was adopted. And China has been developing along the peaceful development lines. Development of China is impossible without the Eurasian region, and it ensures new opportunities for strengthening and prosperity of Europe and Asia. And also it gives a new impetus to development of women all over the world. Esteemed participants, the power of women gives a new impulse to the development of our countries. This Eurasian Women's Forum has demonstrated that it was a great success, and the leader of China, Xi Jinping, underlined that on the way of cooperation we can reach the highest results. And this can be done only through cooperation and mutually beneficial terms of conditions. Thank you all. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Zoe Wan. And now I would like to give the floor to Ms. Yusufi, who is a deputy chair of the People's Democratic Party of Tajikistan. The floor is yours. Esteemed Valentina Matvienko, dear guests of this forum, dear sisters, with great pleasure, I would like to thank Ms. Matvienko and all the organizers of this high-level forum for its success. I am absolutely sure that the Fourth Eurasian Women's Forum has become the most authoritative and acknowledged, well-known world platform for discussing the role of women in the modern society. I have been lucky to take part in all the four fora, and also I was awarded the Public Acknowledgement Prize at the second forum, and I received it from the hands of Valentina Matvienko, who inspired all of us with her energy and her devotion to our common cause and her humane qualities. This meeting is unique because we live in quite difficult times, full of challenges and difficulties, and the world is undergoing significant changes. Unfortunately, these changes are not for the better. We see that force has been widely used for solving international problems and conflicts, and actually now we cannot speak about dialogue among the states, and there's a crisis of trust. And this crisis of trust undermines the possibility of discussing and adopting decisions that can help us in various spheres of global security.
The number of the growing conflicts and wars is growing, and it was in 1923 that there were 83 military conflicts ongoing, and it is a record for the past 30 years. So it is detrimental for peace, and nobody knows how important peace is but women. And women are most vulnerable in the conditions of war, and we feel the pain more than anyone else, and we wish there were peace, and we would be ready to work for it. And there is emotions running in Tajikistan. In the 90s, Tajikistan was the place of atrocities, belligerencies imposed from outside, and the strong leadership, the political willpower and efforts of different parties were involved to put stop to a bloodshed and establish peace. Right now, standing at the rostrum of the Fourth Eurasian Women's Forum as a representative that survived all the atrocities, I call upon the settlement of all the conflicts through policy, negotiation and diplomacy as the only way to overcome it and to resolve the problems and achieve settlements. Our voice should be heard. No to terrorism, and yes to the peaceful process, and yes to the peaceful future for our children and our grandchildren. The headquarters of the UN hosting the Millennium Summit now, and there is an agenda for peace that is being represented there. It is time to reevaluate the values and how to achieve these values. It is necessary to abandon the tunnel vision, and the global community should overcome the crisis and define the ways of building stable, inclusive, peaceful life. Yes, in conclusion, I would like to conclude that no one has ready-to-use answers to all the questions, but experience and knowledge of women is valueless. As Ms. Coco Chanel said, everything is our hands, so we should not be pacified, and let's do everything possible to build peace. Thanks a lot. Dear colleagues, we have a video address that has been sent by the chairperson of the Kingdom of Cambodia, Ms. Kwan Sudari. Please have it on the screen. Уважаемая госпожа председатель, уважаемые гости, приветствую вас из...
I would like to express my appreciation to the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation and the Inter-Parliamentary Assembly of Member Nations of the Commonwealth of Independent States for inviting me to attend the 4th Eurasian Women Forum. The theme Women for Building Trust and Global Cooperation is timely relevant. It is crystal and clear that trust and cooperation are fundamental to peace and development. Acknowledging women's role in peace and development, Cambodia has taken important measures in promoting gender equality and women empowerment. A range of policies and programs have been introduced and implemented to enhance women's participation in various sectors, ensuring their rights and dignity, and improving their socio-economic status. Women are encouraged to take on leadership role at all levels across sectors. To conclude, I would like to affirm that Cambodia is willing to work with friends and partners from near and far to promote mutual trust and practical cooperation. We are committed to build a fair and inclusive global governance, promoting effective and open multilateralism and respecting a rule-based international order to maintain world peace and development. And women leadership obviously plays a crucial role in these endeavors. Thank you for your kind attention.
Dear participants, the floor is given to the Sherpa of Indonesia in the women's G20 from the Republic of Indonesia, Ms. Hadriani Uli Silalahi.
Your Excellency, Chairwoman of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to stand before you today at the Eurasian Forum. This is the second time I have had privilege of attending this prestigious gathering, and I must emphasize how vital this platform is for all of us, particularly in our collective efforts to achieve sustainable number 5, gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. The Eurasian Forum offers an essential space where we can open our eyes to the diverse challenges faced by women across different sectors, particularly in the realm of economic, social, political development, and humanitarian. It provides us with a unique opportunity to address barriers that time limit the full participation of women in the global economy. Our discussion here are pivotal in identifying solutions and building pathways toward inclusivity and equality. However, as much as we have accomplished, it is clear that our work is far from complete. We must continue to strengthen our communication and collaboration, ensuring that the dialogue and starting in forums like this one translate into a real actions on the ground. Cooperation among nations is the key. Only through shared responsibility and collective effort can we drive the change we wish to see. As W20 representative from Indonesia, I am committed to advancing the conversation on women's empowerment. This means fostering partnerships that span across borders and developing policies that uplift women as equal contribution to our economics. Together, we can create a future where gender equality is not just an experience, but is a reality. Thank you. Spasiba.
Dear colleagues, and now I would like to give floor to the coordinator of the Eurasian Center and the person in charge of the National Memory Foundation, Ms. Malusheva. Yelena, the floor is yours. Dear Valentina Ivanovna, dear participants of the forum, dear friends, 3 days have passed. Each of us received new emotions, experience, and what is most important, ideas for the future. The forum had discussed the different topics and we discussed on the topic of women for the historic traditions. Tradition is one of the themes of the fourth forum, and the forum has proved that there is nothing more contemporary than the traditions. When the women start talking about the traditions of their nation, their families, showing national costumes with every part of it having deep meaning, we can talk not only about the project but about the movement, Women for the Preservation of Traditions. And this is our honorable mission that has been bequeathed by the nature. There are national or cultural traditions that are preserved in the multi-ethnicity country. And the safekeeping of the traditions is a national feature. And there are warm, kind family traditions and dialogue of the generations to impart the spiritual and cultural values. And it is important for women to realize that it defines the mindset of the generations. That's what we talked at the forum, and we should state objectively that the capacity of the traditions is linked to the place held by women in today's society. This contributes to integration of traditions into all the spheres of our life. There were many interesting, constructive proposals received by the forum, not only to preserve the traditions, but to promote the traditions, like in the Institute of Corporate Traditions, entrepreneurial practices, educational tourism, and many other sectors. Traditions is not what we have inherited from the previous generations. It's what we create ourselves. And one of the traditions was born here. It is a new venue for discussion. And the competition, the contest that was initiated by the Council of the Forum and the National Center of Historical Memory. and the attention that it gained, the attention that was obvious for our foreign colleagues indicates it is that the national contest, international contest is very important, and we suggest that the international world contest Women for Preservation of Traditions should be launched. Dear women, traditions in all their diversity, we do not have only force, it is the force and the power of the nations. It doesn't matter what nation has traditions, the traditions concentrate on wisdom of our ancestors. And it is the common world values are embodied in the traditions, and it means that it is the underpinning of dialogue and peace. And I wish you take the peace and dialogue into your countries. Do participate in the contest, because when we are united, we can make this world better. Thank you. Yelena, just hold on a minute. They say that any initiative is punishable. So, it's joking, and your initiative has been supported by all the participants of the forum, and I would like to request you to become an author of the concept of the international contest, and it is the correct idea, and we will help you. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, there's a video address from the chair of the Parliament of the Mercosur. It is South American Common Market, Ms. Fabiana Martin. Hello, my name is Fabiana Martin. For me, it is a great honor to be invited to take part in this forum at this very important moment. Several days ago, I was appointed a parliamentarian of Mercosur in the Parliament on Tolerance and Peace. I apologize for not coming to the forum personally. I'm sorry for that, but right now we are organizing our first forum of women parliamentarians of Mercosur, where we are going to discuss similar topics that were raised at this forum. Cooperation among women and our common problems doesn't concern any specific continent or political values and attitude. Our power can be established only if we get together and if we are in a constant dialogue. Women are vulnerable and sensitive, but this is not a weak point. We can have empathy. We can look at various challenges and issues from different sides, and it helps us to empower us and also to make our contribution stronger in the international activities within the spirit of tolerance, security, and peace. In Latin America and in the countries I represent, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, women parliamentarians have been very active at all the meetings of the parliaments in order to develop the new perspective on the basis of tolerance and peaceful resolution of all the conflicts, and ensuring the material base of development of our societies. We can constantly share this mentality and exchange our experience, especially in the humanitarian sphere, and then it will be possible for any official and any executive to follow the programs that are based on the benefits that are ensured by gender equitability. And I fully support all the work which is done here at this forum. And on behalf of all the women parliamentarians in those countries I represent, I can confirm once again that you're on the right way. In Latin America, there will be a similar forum to this one. And women from all over the world, by uniting, without any doubt, will be able to form a new perception of a peaceful and secure world. Now, the floor is given to the chair of the editorial board of this forum, Deputy Chair of the Federation Council, Konstantin Kosachev. Esteemed Valentina Ivanovna, dear delegates and participants of this 4th Eurasian Women's Forum, dear women, I have had the honor to head the editorial group of this forum, and we have been working during all of these days, and we were trying not to lose any of the ideas that were expressed at all these sessions and meetings. And probably some of the things should be added. For example, we heard about the initiative Women for Preservation of Traditions. Nothing will be lost. And the document, the final resolution that is offered for your attention, is not a document that was prepared by our group. No, it is your work. It is the results of all your discussions. And for us, it was not difficult at all. So it was not a puzzle where you had to select different pieces. No, this should be described as the drops of mercury or some palette. So this is a stained window with all these different colors. This is a lengthy document. It is full of important content, and I hope you managed to look through it, because it is uploaded to the website of the Eurasian Women's Forum, and it is available in Russian, English, and French. So right now I'm not going to read it out, but I would like to say a couple of words. This time, because this is the 4th forum already, we looked back and we decided to analyze what has been already implemented out of those decisions and those resolutions that were taken during the previous fora. And this will be like an intermediary results. And of course, this work will be continued, because when this forum is finished, our work continues. And we see that there are new associations, the Eurasian Association of Women Leaders and the World Association of Russian-Speaking Women and the Center of Women's Initiatives of Asia-Pacific Economic Community. So there are so many different unions and organizations. And this is great that we can refer to all that in our final resolution. Then the second part of it is looking into the future, and it is a description of the objectives that we are facing. And I'm absolutely sure that we speak here not only about the most immediate and important things, protection of motherhood, for example, and there is a proposal to create the World Alliance for these purposes. And also modern women should have access to leadership positions, to education and progressive entrepreneurial activities. And not only declarations are needed for this, we need practical steps. And this is the main logic of this final document. And one more thing. We are sure that the fully democratic world is the world where the voice of women should be heard, like the voice of the world majority, like the voice of any people, disregarding the geographic location, traditions, history, and so on. So the key message of this document to all progressive women's organizations is to be more actively involved in development of the world order on the basis of the balanced forces and balance of cultures and religion, and on the equitable principles of all countries and all nations. This is what our document is about. Also, I would like to mention what is missing in our document. There were proposals to respond somehow to those events that are taking place in the modern world and to give them political evaluation. Unfortunately, we are aware of the unprecedented cyber attack on Lebanon on the 17th and 18th of September. I'm absolutely sure that everyone sitting here, we share the feelings of compassion, all those emotions about this tragedy. But we decided not to include it into the final resolution because we wanted to keep its a positive approach in line with the atmosphere that has been here at the plenary sessions in this hall, and also at all the sessions you were part of during these 3 days. So we did our best, but in fact it was you who did it, and we are so grateful to all of you. So could you please take a look at this document and, if possible, approve it? Thank you. Thank you very much, Konstantin Kosachev, for touching upon this very sensitive topic. I believe that we couldn't but mention at this forum the escalation which is taking place in the Middle East. And there's a great concern of ours about missile strikes on Lebanon, and this a large-scale cyber attack using communication devices that was conducted on the streets of Lebanon. That was indiscriminate and treacherous attack, and thousands of innocent people suffered from it, including children. The position of Russia was clearly defined by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia and our representative in the United Nations. Going back to the final resolution of the forum, I'm sure that you will agree that this resolution is very specific and full of important content. And these are the results of quite intensive work of all the delegates of this forum, and I suggest we approve it. And then it will be sent to the United Nations, to other authoritative international organizations, and to the participants of the upcoming BRICS summit in Kazan, and leaders of states, including those countries that are present today. Do you agree with me? Do you approve the document? Thank you. Dear colleagues, the floor is given to the chair of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, to the chairwoman of the organizing committee of the 4th Eurasian Women's Forum, Valentina Ivanovna Matviyenko. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear friends, my dear girlfriends, the 4th Eurasian Women's Forum is finishing its work. I'm absolutely sure that each one of us will remember these days for a long time. They have been full of bright emotions, new contacts, friendly communication, smiles, and of course, very full creative work. We have broken new records in terms of the number of participants and the number of topics covered and the level of events held. But what is most important, that we all felt this amazing unity, solidarity, mutual respect that make this forum not only the largest world event, but also it turns us into the community of friends and people with the same worldview. Today, I would like to thank you for coming to St. Petersburg, for your active work, for your energy, for your warmth and heartful work, for your professionalism, and for that you were not that you really mattered. And I would like to thank the President of the Russian Federation for his support of this forum, to his attention to all the topics that have been discussed here at the forum. I hope you will agree that personal participation of this highly authoritative world leader gave important weight to our work and also great responsibility.
Let us thank volunteers, moderators, interpreters, all those who were responsible for the comfort of the participants, for our safety and security, and they pulled a lot of groundwork for all the events to be held at the highest possible level. Thanks to the journalists that have been working these days very proactively and professionally to make as many people as possible to be aware of our work, our projects, and our initiatives. And they told me that as far as the number of the internet translations, just set a record, as well as the number of the views. I would like to thank Governor of St. Petersburg, Mr. Beglov, all his team, and all the citizens of St. Petersburg for their hospitality. Thanks to Ms. Galina Karelova. For her, forum is her life. She puts her soul into it. And thanks to the efforts, energy of Galina, the agenda of the forum was state-of-the-art, formidable, and interesting. Many thanks are accorded to the organizing committee of the forum and the council of the Eurasian Forum, and all our partners, IPA, SIS, member states, Ross Congress Foundation, that were engaged in the organization of the forum. Thanks to my colleagues, senators, that were involved in the preparation of the forum and participated in the work personally. Thanks to the entire team of the Council of Federation and to all those involved. It was our common business. I can talk at length giving thanks, and thousands of people invested their work, all their heart for this global event to be held smoothly without a hitch. When organizing the forum, we have used the tracks-based approach, and it was a justified approach. It's made it possible to consider the whole palette of the interaction of women in the economy, in science, in humanities, and in the social projects. And the BRICS agenda was presented at the forum very widely. The first Women's BRICS Forum took place to make a huge contribution into strengthening cooperation of women leaders from the countries that are member state of the authoritative union. There were meetings of the Women's Business Alliance of BRICS and Civil Council of BRICS countries. The project's agenda has covered 32 tracks, and it's a record-setting figure. All these projects are filled with substantial content, meanings, and real goals, and no one can boast of such achievements now. We have always been trying to set up a special, informal, and friendly ambience at the forum, and this refers to the cultural program. The organizers were willing to amuse us with it. Their goal was to show what Russia is proud of, as well as what was the multinational people of Russia proud of. We wish you would see the beauty of our country, to feel the sincerity, the depth, and its openness to the world. As you know, there are 11 time zones in Russia, and the sun never sets over Russia. And great weather was in St. Petersburg at the days of the forum, and I think that the reason for that was the warmth of our hearts. And what is absolutely unusual, colleagues, St. Petersburg witnessed the flowers, lilac blossoming, and no one in this city remembers that kind of occasion, that kind of occurrence. As you know, one of the symbols of St. Petersburg are beautiful bridges across the Neva River, and the Eurasian Women's Forum could be represented as a symbol of a bridge, united women from different parts of the world, making us strong and united, helping us to achieve great goals. Our meetings have an omnipresent spirit of partnership and mutual respect. Our women's community demonstrate readiness to maintain dialogue, to look for common solutions and approaches to create the future united and unified for the whole world. That's why we undertake to implement all the proposals made at the forum into specific things. As one of the famous citizens of St. Petersburg used to write, Mr. Fyodor Dostoevsky, if you want to bring in use, then even with your hands tied, you can make a lot of good. That's why, dear friends, having unique knowledge, experience, energy, and what is most important, have a will to make life at all the continents more prosperous, will achieve success in all our endeavors. I do not doubt it. As the tradition goes, we will send the final resolution of the forum to the heads of states and the governments, to the UN, to the parliamentarians and the leaders of the international organization and non-governmental organizations. I apologize. And we will use the recommendation in our future deliberation, implementing them into life. I would like to request all the participants of the forum to make everything possible for our initiatives to be heard in all the countries of the world, and for these initiatives to be beneficial for people. That's what we got together and work hard to these ends. In conclusion, I would like to wish you good health, success, and well-being. But we do not say goodbye. We say see you, and see you again at the 5th Eurasian Women's Forum. And from the bottom of my heart, I hope, and I'm sure of it, that each of you will take along the part of energy of our forum, and the invisible threads of trust and cooperation will keep us tied and close even when we are far away. All the best to you, dear friends. Dear Valentina Ivanovna, on behalf of the Eurasian community, thank you, and please accept the flowers and a round of our applause.
Нас объединило во имя мирных побед. Возьми мою руку и не разжимай ладонь. На всех языках мы поем об одном. Во имя нас и лучших дней станет мир еще светлее. Вместе мы успешнее и сильнее. Лететь над миром и не сдаваться, любить, творить и объединяться. Огонь в груди моей, бери, согрейся. Вместе ты и я, мы едины. Вечная любовь неделима. Береги свой мир, береги свой цвет. Я рядом, мы вместе. Улыбки над миром, нас миллион голосов. Мы за мир на планете, гармонию и любовь. Лови свежий ветер, ты, радуясь небу, живи. Счастливые дети счастливой земли. Весь мир огромный обогнуть и вместе в новый день шагнуть. Все наши песни сложатся в одно. For the working mind, never give up. Create the future, bonding together. The fire in my heart is burning, taking back the world. Joined forever united. The eternal love's undivided. Care for the world, care for the light. We one way together. Лететь над миром и не сдаваться. Любить, творить и объединяться. Огонь в груди моей, бери, согрейся. Вместе ты и я, мы едины. Вечная любовь неделима. Береги свой мир, береги свой цвет. Я рядом, мы вместе. Я рядом, мы вместе.
До слез жалко расставаться.
I'm sorry to part with you, but our forum is closed. Thank you all. See you again.
Поздравляю.